Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. We're going to be re-looking at an older A Realm Reborn dungeon that was edited in patch 6.1, Dzemael Darkhold. Now, the only thing that was really changed in this dungeon was the pathing in one particular area, so there wasn't too many updates. But since it is different, I wanted to do an updated guide for it. So we're going to go through the entire dungeon like normal again. So for the beginning portion, the trash pools are still the exact same. Make sure you're picking them up and dragging them to the purple crystals for the large damage reduction. After the first two groups are dead, then you'll want to progress towards the next set of purple crystals and just pick up the singular group that is here. The Betrayed Soul is a spellcaster, so you'll either want to try and interrupt him to get him to come into the middle, or move far enough away that he moves into the purple section while casting spells at you. Once the third group is down, you'll move into the last area here where there will be quite a few enemies and a set of purple crystals on the right hand side. Just go ahead and pick up the entire room if you can and drag them over to the purple crystals and stand in the blue Magitech Terminal 4. Once all of the ads except the Betrayed Soul, as the spellcaster is dead, then you'll just move over to the Magitech Terminal 3 that's in the middle of the room. Stand in it while you finish off the Betrayed Soul, and as soon as the countdown is complete, the boss will proceed through the door and you can proceed into the boss room. This boss is the exact same as the original form, so you'll just pick him up and drag him over to the purple crystals, as he cannot be damaged unless he is in the purple crystal aura. You'll want to stay inside the purple crystal aura also to get the damage reduction buff. Make sure to move out of his frontal cone ability. Eyes on Me is his party-wide damage, but it shouldn't do any damage to you if you are inside of the purple crystals. Anytime he spawns any of the ads, you'll just want to make sure that you're picking those up so they don't immediately go towards the healer. When you get the notification that the power of the crystal begins to dim, you'll want to find the next set of purple crystals and then move over to those. You will most likely take a full Eyes on Me during this time, as he'll cast it while you're moving, but it's okay, it shouldn't do too much damage, you can heal up through it. After the boss is dead, you'll just click on the Magitech Transporter to transport yourself to the next area. Now, this is the area that has been changed with patch 6.1, so you still have the same annoying enemies and the same glowing crystals, but just the path that you'll take is a little bit different. So you'll want to just proceed straight down the normal path. Now, the enemies in here, since there are quite a few spellcasters, they can do quite a bit of damage to you, along with the hippogriffs apply a defense reduction. So if you're not willing to use all of your cooldowns to help you stay alive and you have a confident healer, then I would recommend to pull just a few at a time. Once you get into the tunnel, you'll pick up the first group between the two crystals and then drag them around the corner so that the spellcasters will end up having to come to you because you broke line of sight on them. For the next set, again, you can break line of sight around the next corner to bring the spellcaster to you, so it's easier to AoE them all down. Then you should be at the second boss's room. The second boss is the same as it was before, so once he ends up coming out, then you'll just pick him up. You want to tank him away from the group if possible. He does a frontal cone and a backwards cone, So melee should stand towards his side if possible, and the spellcasters and healers should stand away from him. Whenever the adds come out, they will throw fire pots at the whole team, and so you'll have a couple circular AoEs that you'll need to dodge. After this, they'll just continue to pelt the team with boulders, so the healer will need to just heal through these as necessary. Once the boss receives his damage buff, he does start doing a straight punch on the tank that will end up knocking you back, so you just need to reposition afterwards. But once he's dead, again, you'll just click on the Match Tech Transporter to be transported to the third section. In here, you'll again just want to pick up the adds, drag them away from the crystals to try and get them grouped up, and just AoE them all down. And once all the adds are dead, you can move between the Magitech terminals that are inside the crystal explosion range. Now, it doesn't speed up how quick it deactivates if you have more than one person in it, so there's no point in the entire group standing inside of the explosion and taking the damage. You can just have the tank do it. But once the countdowns are complete, then you'll proceed up the ramp and on to the third boss. There'll just be two small groups in between. You'll want to pick these up and drag them through the crystals so that you're not having to worry about the explosions. The group should try to stand towards the side of the lava drakes, as they do have a frontal cone. And with the limited amount of area that you have, sometimes it's hard to face them away. For the final boss, when you pick him up, you will want to face him away from the group. He has an unavoidable frontal cone, so you don't want anyone else being caught inside of it. Whenever he links himself to one of the crystals, you'll need to shift all damage over to the crystal to finish it off so that the boss will again start taking damage. During this time, he'll select one party member and begin focusing line attacks at them, so whichever party member is being focused should try to move away from the rest of the group so that nobody is having to dodge the line AoEs other than them. Grim Fate is going to be the cone ability that he'll use on the tank that is unavoidable, and Grim Halo is going to be a circular AoE around himself. So any healers, spellcasters, range DPS should try to just avoid standing close to the boss in general. Once all three crystals are down, he will receive a damage amplification buff and then begin casting extra abilities. Desolation is his line AoEs, and then Pitch of Black is going to throw down the circular AoEs on the ground that if you stand in them after they are summoned, they will explode. Then his Grim Halo will do increased damage also, along with the Cone AoE. But this should be it for Dzemael Darkhold. If this helps you out in any way, please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.